the ocean, the last frontier on Earth. So much is unexplored and unexplained. To change that, a kick-ass team of insanely talented specialists is setting out to push the frontiers of what we know about our oceans.
The Mariana Trench. No light reaches, and even sound is swallowed whole. A new kind of intelligence just opened its eyes. For the first time in history, an AI-driven deep-sea scanner was sent to the deepest point on Earth. The Mariana Trench. A place so extreme that even titanium bends and no human being could survive for more than a few seconds. But this time, the mission wasn't human. It was digital. The AI didn't just record images, it learned from them. It compared, analyzed, predicted. It searched for patterns beneath 11 kilometers of crushing darkness. And then, it stopped. Frozen on a signal no one expected.
Kez,
Straight ahead, 12 o'clock.
shark biologist.
We just saw what no one has seen before.
A shape, a heat signature, a rhythm pulsing from the seafloor, repeating every 47 seconds. At first, the crew thought it was an error in the data stream, until the AI ran the analysis again and flagged it as non-random behavior. What the machine saw that night is still being debated, but the raw data, the echo patterns, the visual distortions, suggest that something down there is moving, and it's moving with purpose. This is what the AI found at the bottom of the world. The depths of the Mariana Trench. The Mariana Trench lies like a scar across the Pacific floor, deeper than Everest is tall. It is a place that defies reason. 10,000 meters of silence, cold and pressure so immense it could crush steel into dust. For decades, we imagined it as an empty abyss, a lifeless void at the edge of the earth. But we were wrong. The deeper we looked, the more life stared back. Tiny amphipods drift between mineral pillars that ooze white smoke. Snailfish, translucent, boneless, float like ghosts in slow motion. Microbes feed on chemicals instead of sunlight, thriving where the rules of life break apart. Every layer of the trench tells a story of survival in conditions no human could endure. The pressure here is more than 1,000 times greater than at the surface. The temperature barely rises above freezing. There is no light, no sound, and no escape. Yet somehow, this impossible world is alive, but most of it remains unseen. We've mapped the surface of Mars more precisely than the floor of our own ocean, and the Mariana Trench, the very bottom of that ocean, is still mostly blank on our maps. That mystery has drawn explorers for generations, sailors, scientists, dreamers chasing the unknown. But now, for the first time, it's not a human hand steering the exploration. It's something far more relentless and far more patient. Artificial intelligence doesn't fear the dark. It doesn't tire. It doesn't blink. When it stares into the abyss, it keeps staring until it finds something that doesn't belong. The rise of AI and deep-sea exploration. For most of human history, the ocean floor was a mystery we could only imagine. Our ships floated above it like shadows, our instruments blind to what lay beneath. But in the last decade, something extraordinary began to change. AI entered the ocean. Exploration that once took months or even years can now happen in real time. Autonomous underwater vehicles, guided not by human pilots but by neural networks, can dive deeper, last longer, and think faster. They move through the darkness like silent sentinels, mapping every ridge, every ripple, every sound. At the surface, satellites send them coordinates. Below, sonar and cameras feed data into onboard processors. Millions of readings per second. The AI watches, learns. It filters noise from signal, recognizing what no human eye could spot. This is how we first discovered the trench's microbial cities. clusters of unseen organisms clinging to rocks in total blackness. It's how we track the eerie, low-frequency biotwang sound, once blamed on mythical sea creatures, until AI identified it as the call of a whale echoing through miles of water. What once looked like chaos now has structure. What once seemed empty now has layers of life. But that precision has also revealed anomalies, data that doesn't fit any known pattern. Heat spikes in places with no volcanic vents, objects too symmetrical to be natural, rhythms too regular to be random. And that's when the idea emerged. If AI could see what we can't, maybe it could also find what we're not ready to understand. Before we go deeper, if you love exploring the hidden side of our planet, make sure you're subscribed. It helps us keep diving further into the unknown. The scan that changed everything. It began as a routine mapping mission. A small research vessel drifted above the trench, its crew monitoring an autonomous drone descending into the dark. The machine, a hybrid of sonar, infrared, and AI-driven sensors, had one task: to map what had never been mapped before. For 13 hours, the drone sank through black water, its lights cutting thin lines through the void. At 7,000 meters, everything was normal. At 9,000, the signal became distorted. Minor interference, nothing unusual. But at 10,800 meters, something changed. The sonar returned an echo that didn't make sense. A pattern too sharp, too rhythmic. The AI paused the scan and began cross-referencing the data. Temperature readings showed a heat source roughly the size of a school bus, pulsing faintly. Every 47 seconds, exactly. No vent, no seismic activity, no geological reason for it to exist. The crew assumed an equipment glitch, a feedback loop, a calibration error. They reset the sensors. The anomaly remained. Then, without command, the AI initiated what it called a reassessment protocol. It rotated the scanner 30 degrees and began to triangulate. 3 points. A perfect triangle. Symmetrical. Fixed. The drone descended closer. The image began to resolve. A depression in the sediment, ringed with what appeared to be metallic ridges. A faint vibration shook through the frame. Then, the feed went silent. When the drone resurfaced hours later, its data log was intact, but the video file was corrupted. Only one fragment survived, a single frame showing a glow at the base of the trench, faintly red, as if something alive had blinked back. Scientists later called it a coincidence, a malfunction caused by pressure and cold. But the AI didn't agree. It tagged the reading with a single word: intent. What could it be? When the data reached the surface, it split the team in two. Half believed they'd uncovered a geological event, something natural but misunderstood. The other half whispered that maybe, for the first time, the ocean had whispered back. There were 3 leading theories. The first was geological. Perhaps the AI had stumbled on a deep thermal vent, a crack in the Earth's crust releasing pockets of superheated gas. Such vents have been found before, black smokers spewing mineral-rich plumes that feed entire ecosystems. But this one was different. It wasn't just heat, it was rhythm. No geological process pulses in such perfect intervals. The second theory was biological. Life has always found a way to adapt. From glowing jellyfish to translucent fish with bones like glass, the trench is a workshop of impossible creatures. Maybe what the AI detected was a form of communication, low-frequency signals or light pulses from a species we've never cataloged. An organism so large or so ancient that it has escaped all detection until now. If that were true, it would redefine what we believe about life itself, that even in total darkness, intelligence could evolve. And then there was the third theory, the one that made everyone uncomfortable, the artificial possibility. What if the formation wasn't biological at all? What if it was built? The Pacific has swallowed centuries of wrecks, lost subs, aircraft, research pods. But this anomaly didn't match any known craft. Its symmetry was too precise, its readings too stable, as if it were drawing energy from somewhere below. Could it be a remnant of a forgotten experiment? A machine buried and still alive? The official report labeled the anomaly as non-geological, non-biological, undetermined. And in science, undetermined is often another word for fear. Scientific context and credibility. For weeks after the mission, the world's oceanographic community dissected the data. Every pixel, every pulse, every pressure reading was reviewed by independent teams from Japan, the United States, and the European Marine Board. Most dismissed the intent tag as a software quirk, a misfire of an overtrained neural network trying to make sense of noise in extreme conditions. But a few refused to ignore the patterns. One data analyst noticed that the temperature fluctuations formed a waveform, not random, not continuous, but repeating like a code. Another pointed out that the sonar reflections around the site showed reflective density far higher than volcanic rock. It wasn't proof, but it wasn't easily explained either. Meanwhile, new discoveries were reshaping our understanding of the deep. The Mir Project's 2025 expedition found over 7,000 microbial species thriving in the trench, 90% of them previously unknown. Life, it seemed, didn't just survive the abyss, it flourished in it. And as the data poured in, AI was at the center of it all, identifying species by their genetic signatures, modeling unseen terrain, and even predicting chemical interactions in the water. We had finally built a mind that could comprehend what the human brain couldn't. But that same mind was now showing us things we didn't expect to see. That paradox haunted the researchers. If AI could misinterpret natural phenomena as intention, what happens when it's right? If it wasn't a glitch, what if it was an observation? To the public, the story faded quickly. Another rumor swallowed by the ocean's silence. But in closed scientific circles, the question remained open. What exactly did the AI see, and why did it choose the word intent? Implications if it's real. If the AI's reading was more than noise. If something truly lies at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, then its implications are enormous. For science, it would be revolutionary. Every model of life's limits would need to be rewritten. We've long believed that life depends on sunlight, warmth, and stable chemistry. But if intelligence, or even organized behavior, exists 11 kilometers below the surface, it would prove that life, and maybe consciousness, can emerge in complete darkness, under pressures that defy physics. It would expand the possibilities for life beyond Earth, beneath the frozen oceans of Europa, or in the methane seas of Titan. The trench could be a mirror of alien worlds. For Earth itself, the discovery could signal something geological, a new fault line, a shifting mantle, or a deep sea vent unlike any we've seen before. The Pacific Ring of Fire is already the planet's most volatile region. If an unknown force is moving beneath it, it could change our understanding of seismic risk across half the globe. An anomaly that pulses every 47 seconds might be a geological heartbeat, a rhythm of the planet itself. But for humanity, the implications cut deeper. If that signal comes from something artificial, something built or left behind, then the deep ocean becomes not just a frontier, but a vault. A place that holds secrets from a time before us, or a warning meant for those who came after. Because if a machine exists down there, one that still hums in the dark. Someone, or something, must have put it there. And finally, there is the moral weight of discovery. Every time we probe deeper, we disturb ecosystems that have remained untouched for millions of years. What if the AI didn't find an intruder? What if we were the intruders? What if the pulse was not a signal, but a response? That thought silenced even the most rational minds, because in the deepest place on Earth, silence has meaning. Why it's terrifying? The word terrifying isn't about monsters or myths. It's about perspective. It's about realizing that even after centuries of science, we've barely scratched the surface of our own planet. Down there, light cannot travel. Sound distorts. Time itself feels slower. Every law that defines our lives above the surface, heat, gravity, even biology, bends under the weight of the abyss. And yet, something seems to move within it. That's the real terror. The awareness that the unknown isn't out in space. It's beneath us, closer than we think. The AI's reading, that repeating pulse, that coded rhythm, forces us to face a truth we've avoided. The ocean isn't just a void we explore. It's a living, shifting system that watches back. Scientists call it anthropomorphism. Our tendency to assign intent where there is none. But what if, for once, we're not projecting? What if the patterns are real and the intent is genuine, not intelligent in the human sense, but alive in its own way, an ancient awareness woven into the planet itself? Imagine standing at the edge of a world we can't reach, staring into an environment that could erase you in an instant, and realizing it's not empty, it's aware. That's what terrified the crew that night. Not the glow, not the noise, but the feeling, fleeting yet undeniable, that in the deepest corner of Earth, something vast had stirred, and that for the first time we weren't observing the ocean. It was observing us. What we can do next. The ocean doesn't give up its secrets easily. Every discovery down there comes at a cost, in time, technology, and risk. But what this AI found, or thought it found, has changed how we look at exploration itself. If the anomaly is real, it means our instruments are finally sensitive enough to detect the impossible. If it's not, it means our technology is now complex enough to create its own myths. Either way, we've crossed a line. We're no longer just exploring the deep. We're communicating with it. The next step is understanding. Future missions will send improved autonomous vehicles, smarter, stronger, built with quantum pressure-resistant sensors and self-learning AI cores. Their purpose won't just be to map terrain, but to interpret patterns, to determine what is natural and what isn't. But exploration must go hand in hand with restraint, because every time we dive deeper, we disturb ecosystems older than humanity itself. In the rush to uncover, we risk destroying what makes these places unique. The deep ocean isn't a playground. It's a library of Earth's oldest stories, written in biology and stone. And once we erase those pages, they're gone forever. That's why some scientists are calling for a hadal code, a new set of international rules to protect the deepest zones of the ocean from mining, drilling, and careless intrusion. Because if we truly believe something extraordinary exists down there, the worst thing we could do is force it to hide again. We've already changed the surface of our world. The deep might be our last chance to protect what's still untouched, and to listen instead of conquer. For centuries, humanity has looked to the stars to find the unknown. But maybe, all along, the real mystery has been beneath our feet. In the silent, crushing dark of the ocean's deepest trench, the AI that scanned the Mariana Trench wasn't searching for fear. It was searching for knowledge, yet what it uncovered, or thought it did, reminds us that knowledge and fear are often two sides of the same coin. We build machines to extend our senses, to see what we cannot see. But now, those machines are beginning to notice things we don't yet understand. And perhaps that's the point. Perhaps the ocean has always been trying to tell us something. We just didn't have the ears to listen. So the question isn't whether the anomaly is real, it's what it represents. Proof that even in an age of satellites and supercomputers, Earth still holds mysteries we can't explain. Proof that the unknown still matters. The Mariana Trench remains a reminder of humility, that for all our progress, we are guests on this planet, peering into depths we barely deserve to reach. And maybe that's what makes it beautiful, that something so ancient, so unfathomable, can still make us feel small. One day, another mission will return. Another AI will descend into that same darkness, armed with sharper eyes and wiser questions. Maybe it will find nothing. Or maybe, just maybe, it will find what we were never meant to see. Until then, the trench sleeps, silent, watching, waiting. If this journey moved you, subscribe to Depths Uncovered, where we explore the secrets still hidden beneath the surface. One descent at a time, because down there, in the cold heart of the world, the story isn't over, it's just beginning.